Now, it's been labelled the healthiest sport in the world, but for many women, squash has remained the domain of the few rather than the many. Now, a new project is hoping to change that. Here's Heather Dewar.
Come on, faster!
It's an innovative new project for squash in Scotland. Hit Squash is a dedicated fitness programme which aims to increase participation and fitness levels for women across the country.
It's based around a high-intensity interval training session, but it gives us, or the women that are involved, a taster of squash.
The programme has come about through funding from the Scottish Government's Women and Girls Fund, which has invested £300,000 in projects across Scotland.
Well, we know that physical activity and sport in particular is really good for people's health, both physical and mental. But there's more women getting involved in sport now, but we still know that many women face barriers to participation. So this is about trying to break down some of those barriers, and one example is in squash in Scotland.
This Commonwealth player will be one of the ambassadors for Hit Squash, and she's already fully invested in the idea of improving accessibility.
We've got the instructor, Jenn, leading them here, giving them some technical tips, some body positional tips along the way, and then they can take that in and practice it in a confined environment against themselves. So basically we're trying to just incorporate the basic skills of squash, from technical grips to racket skills and basic movements without getting it too out of control.
Scottish Squash has received £24,000 from the fund to build a workforce to support those taking up the sport. At elite level, meanwhile, Scotland are continuing to improve and had a good outing at the recent European Championship.
We've got quite a young team. I take the average age up, but it's a very young team. The average age is actually 21. So it's really exciting for the future, having reached the semi-final of the top tier in Europe.
Scottish Squash are now hoping that Hit Squash leaves a lasting legacy for those involved at all levels of the sport. Heather Dewar, reporting Scotland.